Don't forget to like and subscribe. Do you ever feel like no matter how much you try, you just can't summon the energy to get things done? Like your motivation has vanished, leaving you feeling stuck? In today's world, we are constantly being told to work harder, be more productive, and push through our limits. But this pressure can come at a cost. More and more people are dealing with mental exhaustion. But because exhaustion can look similar to laziness on the surface, many people misinterpret their fatigue as a personal failing. They may think they're just not disciplined enough or that they're being lazy, when in reality, their mind and body are crying out for rest. The problem with this misunderstanding is that it leads to shame, guilt, and even more exhaustion. Instead of allowing themselves to recharge, people push harder, which only worsens their condition. If you've been struggling to stay motivated, concentrate, or complete tasks, you might not be lazy at all. You could be experiencing mental exhaustion. So today, we're going to talk about 6 clear signs that you're mentally drained and not just being lazy. Number 1, lack of motivation and a feeling of emptiness. Do you feel like your dreams and goals no longer excite you? Maybe you once had a strong vision for your future, but now everything feels pointless or dull. This isn't just a lack of interest. It's a sign that your mental and emotional energy are depleted. Unlike laziness, where a person simply doesn't want to do something, mental exhaustion makes you feel like even if you wanted to, you don't have the energy or willpower to care anymore. This numbness can sneak up on you over time. Maybe you used to love your job, your hobbies, or your daily routines, but now, nothing sparks that same passion. You might even start avoiding things you once enjoyed because they feel like another obligation instead of something fulfilling. The danger is that this lack of motivation can spill over into every area of your life, affecting your performance at work or school, damaging your relationships, and making you feel disconnected from your own ambitions. If you've been feeling emotionally flat or uninterested in things that once mattered to you, it might be time to pause and reassess your mental well-being. Number 2, difficulty focusing and concentrating. Have you noticed that your mind wanders more than usual? Maybe you start working on something but quickly get distracted, or you have trouble finishing what you start. Tasks that used to be simple, reading a book, listening to a conversation, or even watching a movie, now feel frustratingly difficult because your mind keeps drifting elsewhere. This happens because mental exhaustion overloads your brain's ability to process information. Your mind is so overwhelmed with stress, worries, and fatigue that it struggles to function normally. If you used to be great at multitasking but now find it impossible to focus on a single thing, this is a major sign that you need to give your brain a break. Ignoring this symptom can make the problem worse, leading to poor performance at work, forgetfulness, and increased frustration with yourself. Number 3, small tasks feel overwhelmingly difficult. Have you ever looked at a pile of dishes and felt like it was the hardest thing in the world to clean them? Or maybe responding to an email, folding laundry, or even getting out of bed feels exhausting. When you're mentally drained, even the simplest responsibilities can feel like monumental challenges. Psychiatrist Margaret Seed explains that this happens because our brain processes tasks as a series of steps, and when we're exhausted, every single step feels like a massive effort. What used to be a quick, mindless chore suddenly feels like an impossible obstacle. Instead of seeing something as a simple task, your brain overthinks every tiny detail, making it seem far more overwhelming than it actually is. If small responsibilities feel unbearable, take it as a sign that your mental resources are depleted and you need time to recover. Number 4, constantly fantasizing about a drastic life change. Do you find yourself daydreaming more than usual? Maybe you fantasize about quitting your job, moving to a remote island, or starting a completely new life. While dreaming about change is normal, constantly escaping into these fantasies could be a sign that you're mentally exhausted and deeply unhappy with your current situation. When you're burned out, your mind starts looking for an escape route. This can lead to excessive daydreaming, where you spend more time wishing for change than actually making changes. The problem? The more you compare your real life to an unrealistic fantasy, the more unhappy and dissatisfied you'll feel. Instead of making you feel hopeful, these thoughts might leave you feeling stuck, because deep down, you know that a sudden, drastic change isn't realistic. If you notice yourself obsessing over escape fantasies, take a step back and ask, what exactly am I trying to escape from? Identifying the root cause of your exhaustion is the first step toward creating meaningful, achievable changes in your life. Number 5. You get irritated easily. Have you been more impatient, snappy, or easily frustrated lately? Maybe minor inconveniences, like a slow internet connection, a messy room, or someone asking a simple question, set you off. If so, you might be mentally exhausted. When your mind is drained, it becomes harder to regulate your emotions. You're constantly in a low-level fight-or-flight mode, making small stressors feel much bigger than they really are. This can cause unnecessary conflicts in your relationships, leaving you feeling even more emotionally drained. If you find yourself overreacting to things that normally wouldn't bother you, your mind is likely begging for a break. Number 6. Resting doesn't seem to help. Do you sleep for hours but still wake up exhausted? Do you take time off but never actually feel refreshed? That's because mental exhaustion isn't just about physical rest. It's about emotional recovery too. Many people think that sleeping in or taking a weekend off will fix their burnout. But if you're not addressing the root cause, no amount of sleep will make you feel truly rested. When your mind is overwhelmed with stress, unresolved emotions, or constant pressure, sleep alone isn't enough to recharge you. Instead, experts suggest actively engaging in mental and emotional self-care. This could mean talking to a supportive friend or therapist, writing in a journal to process your thoughts, setting clear boundaries to protect your energy, practicing mindfulness or relaxation techniques. If you've tried resting, but nothing seems to help, it's time to take a deeper look at what's draining your energy in the first place. Conclusion: you're not lazy, you're exhausted, and that matters. So, after going through all these signs, do any of them feel familiar to you? Have you been struggling with motivation, finding it hard to focus, or feeling overwhelmed by the smallest tasks? If so, it's important to understand one crucial thing. You are not lazy. You are mentally exhausted. And that exhaustion is not a sign of weakness. It's a signal from your mind and body telling you that something needs to change. Far too often, we push ourselves beyond our limits because we believe that slowing down means failure. We live in a world that constantly glorifies hustle culture, where being busy is seen as a badge of honor and taking time to rest is considered unproductive. But here's the truth. Ignoring your exhaustion won't make you stronger. It will only drain you further. Think of your brain like a phone battery. If you keep running apps, using GPS, and scrolling endlessly, your phone's battery will drain faster. And if you never stop to charge it properly, eventually, it will shut down. The same thing happens with your mind. You can't expect yourself to function at your best if you're never allowing yourself to recharge. What can you do about it? If you recognized yourself in these signs, the next step is to take action to protect your mental health. Here are a few simple but effective ways to start. Heavy checkmark: acknowledge your exhaustion. The first and most important step is recognizing that what you're feeling is real and valid. You are not being dramatic or lazy. Your mind is overworked and in need of care. Heavy checkmark: prioritize real rest. Rest is more than just sleep. It's about giving yourself permission to pause, breathe, and do things that genuinely restore your energy, whether that's taking a break from screens, going for a walk, meditating, or simply sitting in silence. Heavy checkmarks: set boundaries. If work, school, or personal responsibilities are pushing you past your limit, it's time to set some clear boundaries. You don't have to say yes to everything. Learning to say no is not selfish. It's necessary for your well-being. Heavy checkmark: talk to someone. Mental exhaustion often makes us feel isolated, but you are not alone. Reach out to someone you trust, a friend, family member, or therapist, who can help you process your emotions and provide support. Heavy checkmark: find joy in small things. When life feels overwhelming, try shifting your focus to the little moments of joy. Watch your favorite movie, listen to music, spend time with a pet, or do something creative. These small acts of self-care can make a bigger difference than you think. Heavy checkmark: seek professional help if needed. If your exhaustion has been affecting your daily life for a long time, don't hesitate to reach out for professional help. A mental health expert can help you find strategies to manage stress and recover in a healthy way. You deserve to feel better. Mental exhaustion is real, and it's something that affects so many people. Yet too often, it goes unnoticed or is mistaken for laziness. But the more we talk about it, the more we can break the stigma and help others realize that taking care of your mental health is just as important as taking care of your physical health. So if you've been feeling drained, unmotivated, or disconnected from yourself, remember this: you are not broken. You are not failing. You are simply tired, and that's okay. The most important thing now is to listen to what your mind and body are telling you and start taking the steps to heal. If this video helped you in any way, let us know in the comments. Have you ever experienced mental exhaustion? How did you handle it? Let's start a conversation and support each other. And before you go, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss a video from us. Share this with someone who might need to hear it. And remember, you are not alone in this. Take care, and we'll see you in the next video.